And welcome in, everybody, whether you're on the East Coast, West Coast, or around the world. This is your Pick'em Show, headed into week 8. Hard to believe that the season is already almost half over. We got a great guest this week. Met him originally on Let's Talk Sports. He's a host of the Audible podcast. Been on the show here before, specifically Pick'em, and last season. And help me welcome the one and only Bobby G.
What is happening? I need that intro. I'm officially signing you as my intro person. That's it. Yeah, you are my Bruce Buffer.
That's right. Oh man, so how you been? Like, obviously, haven't seen you in forever now.
Absolutely, I went to hiding after week 1 of this year's NFL season for obvious reasons. But man, I've been good. Just working on the Audible podcast, like you mentioned, every Friday, 7 Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. That's going well. We expanded to do a Thursday night post-game show.
Okay.
So, that's part of our universe now. And then I'll also still do work with the Let's Talk Sports Network, like I said, where we met originally. And we'll be bringing back In the Hoop, their signature basketball show. We'll be bringing that back next Friday as the NBA season has kicked off this week. So, life is good, working hard, hardly working. I can't complain except about the damn Browns.
Yeah, I mean, man, not a lot to be excited about there.
No. Nick Chubb, that's all we got to be. He's healthy, and honestly, sit him for the rest of the season. He deserves better than what's going on the field.
So there are rumblings of Garrett being available for trade.
There are, but I think he's too ingrained in the city. I mean, their phone call. I think there are more phone calls for Za'Darius. I think people hear that phone call and you just obviously think the worst. All that come from more phones ringing more on the Za'Darius side. But hey, appreciate you, Freebird. But yeah, I mean, you have to listen. At this point, you have to listen. And I think it's just his call, the same way they did Joe Thomas towards the end of his career. A lot of people don't know Peyton Manning called Joe Thomas personally to try and get him to come to the Broncos, and Joe Thomas actually turned it down. So it's one of those things where if Miles wants to go and you get the right offer, you have to. But he's ingrained into the community. He's a part owner in the Cavs. So that'd be a tough decision.
Yeah, no, that would be tough. I mean, with where the team is, I feel like you have to entertain any phone calls at this point, right? Because, I mean, you guys constructed a really pretty great roster that just kind of wildly underperformed. So now, I mean, your biggest question moving forward is, what do you do with Deshaun? Because he hasn't been good, right? Like he's had moments where he's had a game here or a game there that have looked good, like not even great, just good. His best game is when he got hurt last year. So I mean, now you got to look at: are we trying to win, or are we just shoving this guy on the field because we paid him all the money?
Well, the origin at the start of the season, it was basically you have 1 to get 3. You have this year to prove that we should not move on from your final 2. Now, I think Deshaun's played his final game, not only in Cleveland, I think he's played his final game in the NFL. Because it's torn ACL, that's a year recovery. So that puts you at the middle of next season. We're going to look at quarterback options in the offseason, whether it be via draft or free agency.
For sure.
And by the time he comes back, you're now going to have a year and a half left of that deal. They're not going to mind eating that last year.
Yeah. So I mean, you're on the hook for it anyway. So
you're on the
field.
Yeah. So, and then when you look at other alternatives, who's going to want to pick up now you're in, for lack of a better term, you're in Kaepernick territory. Like,
no question.
Who's going to want the sideshow that comes with potentially, even if I'm picking you up just as a mentor to a younger QB, who's going to want that sideshow? So I think Deshaun's played his last snap in the NFL.
The product hasn't been good enough on the field to even pick him up for that. Like his last real good start, he was still in Houston.
No. He played very well against Tennessee last year. He got robbed of a 300-yard game. That was a game where Amari caught the pass on the sideline. They called him out of bounds, and he wasn't.
Oh, okay.
If
All
he
right.
if he
Okay,
completes
so he's had a good game. My bad.
from start to finish.
Yeah.
Game from start to finish, that was his last good performance. And he had the second half against Baltimore last year.
Well, that's why I said he's had moments, right? Like he's had moments here and there where you're like, okay, you can kind of still see something there.
Absolutely.
But like consistent good play.
Yeah,
a long time.
One time.
So it's I mean, it's just weird that they can never figure the quarterback position out.
It is, isn't it?
Like it's something about the Browns. Like I've never got it right. Like you see that jersey that has the 5,000 names on it, right? And you're just like, how is that possible that you don't accidentally hit?
Yeah, because we've never had a draft. We were talking before the show. We've never had a draft pick where there was that guy, where it was like, take this guy. The only time we've had the number one pick where it was that guy, it was Myles Garrett. Now, in that draft, you had Mahomes, you had Deshaun Watson, you had Lamar Jackson, you had Mitch Trubisky, who came out of note from undrafted to somehow being the number one rated quarterback in the draft.
Yeah, that was weird.
Right by the time the draft came around. You had Deshaun coming off the Heisman and national championship. Yep. You had Patrick Mahomes throwing for 800 yards in games.
Yeah.
But nobody kind of clearly cut. It was like, okay, take this quarterback. That's probably the closest we got, because there was a rumor that we had 2 top 5 picks that year. We had we had 1 and 12 that year. I'm sorry. So two top 15. There was a rumor we actually tried to trade up to 2 to get Trubisky and Myles Garrett. Didn't work out, thank God. But yeah, we always miss on that guy. The year Andrew Luck came out, that season we actually beat the Colts in the regular season. Had we lost that game, we would have had the number 1 pick. They would have had the number 3 pick. We take Andrew Luck, but we can't just suck when that guy's available. It's got to be some mass confusion and debate.
That was such a weird win too.
Yeah.
Because it was like the one game they're like, you know what, we're going to try right now. It's like, why?
Oh, man.
So going into, obviously we got Thursday Night Football tonight. And I always kind of recap the week before. And I didn't even have a bad week, right? I went 10-5, which isn't not a horrible showing, but actually lost ground in the championship. And so I was, I started off week 1, had a great week. And then I just decided I forgot how to pick sports, I guess, and really kind of struggled. A lot of upsets, obviously, kind of wrecked some of my stuff. So then I clawed my way back. I was within a game going into this last week, and go 10-5, which, not a horrible week. I end up losing ground. I'm now 3 games back. I'm trying to win a third one in a row here, and I don't know if it's in the cards for me this time. But I keep scrapping it out. The ones that I missed on, I didn't have Seattle learning how to play defense, and smoking Atlanta. I didn't have that. 3 of the next 4 were last-second field goals, so they could have went either way. I picked Houston over Green Bay, last-second field goal. I had Minnesota over Detroit, last-second field goal. And I had the Chargers over AZ. And who knew that Herbert was going to throw for 360 yards and put up 5 field goals? Like that was I didn't have that on my bingo card. And then Jets in Pittsburgh, I thought the Jets were going to figure something out on offense, and that's on me for picking the Jets, the most dysfunctional team in the league right now. So my bad.
I'm going to give you some tips to work around that.
So we look at tonight, and we got the Vikings going into LA to take on the Rams. Vikings are a 3-point road favorite, over under 48. 95% of America are taking the Vikings here. 4th ranked team versus 24th. I think the weirdest thing about this matchup is the conversation between these two organizations about trading Matthew Stafford for Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
That is a bizarre thing to have coming into the game. And, we were talking about it on the morning show. How funny would it be if they did the baseball thing and like a halftime they get it done? You just got to like walk to the other side of the stadium.
Put this jersey on here.
Right? Get out there. Let's see what you got. And then if they do it and you're Stafford, do you just sandbag this so that you have an extra win when you get across the street?
Thinking ahead. I like it. I mean, it is a conference game, so counts towards home field. As long as you don't bet on it, it's okay. As long as you doesn't bet on it, it's okay. But yeah, man, it is a weird thing to have hanging, and I think the Vikings are just playing with house money. You draft a young quarterback, but you draft a young QB, you're thinking you're going to have sort of this maybe mediocre season. You got your star player to buy in, so he's not over here complaining. He's willing to work with you. And then out of the blue, you start to have a miraculous season. And now guys in the locker room are thinking they can get more out of this thing. And in your head, Sam Darnold ain't it. He ain't. Eventually, he's going to let you down. So why not swing for the fences before JJ takes over?
So that's where I struggle with this situation, right? Is what we saw before really what Sam Darnold is? Because you get drafted by the Jets, who it's a hot trash organization, right? Who has been drafted there that's had good success? Nobody.
Chad Pennington. You have to go back to Chad Pennington.
I mean, man, right? So, so then you look at the Panthers. He gets there, and what do they immediately do? Get rid of every weapon he has. Right? Like, how are you going to win in that? Besides, even
and then pick up the guy who was drafted before you.
Right? And then on top of it, you're talking about a new head coach every 6 months. They've had as many head coaches since Tepper bought it as I think the Steelers have since they became a team.
Yeah.
So
crazy.
I mean, yeah, insane. So, I mean, like, I feel like Sam didn't really get a clean, like a good shake here, right? Like, I don't think he got a real opportunity. He goes, to the Niners. He has one decent start. He comes in for relief a couple of times, but everybody should be able to succeed with that team, right? Like, I mean,
yeah, but I think that might have helped him. Like he and Baker, if you look him and Baker, they go play for these quote unquote genius coaches.
Sure.
And then their confidence is boosted.
Yep.
I mean, because Baker, same thing. He went to LA last season. Yeah.
Yep.
He has the miraculous first game where he basically hopped off the plane and threw for 300 yards. But more importantly, I mean, he gets to sit and like watch or learn from this genius coach that everybody thinks they have in LA.
Well, and then you also get to sit behind, quarterbacks that are having success.
Right. And Darnold, same thing. He goes to San Francisco, learns from the mad scientist that is, goes on a Super Bowl run. So he really sees the inner workings of a winning franchise. And now you see this as potentially your last opportunity, your Geno Smith moment, and he's taking full advantage of it. So, I mean, I would hate to see that taken away from him, but at the end, like I said, Minnesota snuck into something. So it's like, why not try and strike while the oil is hot?
Yep.
Again, before you already have your QB of the future, who's also, able to sit back, learn, and take his time, and now he sees what when he looks. So they're just playing with house money all the way. I love it.
Well, and then if you're Darnold, how mad are you? You're like, I finally have the best team around me ever, right? My best opportunity since I got in the league, and they're like, you know what? We're going to send you to the Rams, and they're also going to trade Kupp.
Yeah, right.
Like that just seems wild to me. And Linda, the Rams are really considering it. They told Kupp that he's an option on the trade block. So the Rams are ready to go into rebuild mode. And I'm sure that's because of how bad they've started this season. But at the same time, if you're Minnesota, do you really want to go this route? Because Stafford's been hurt the last couple years. Do you want to have a guy in Darnold who has largely been durable and is balling out for you? You do this trade, and then Stafford gets hurt next week. JJ McCarthy's done for the year. Who do you got? You going to go trade for Carson Wentz?
But that's why I say you're playing with house money, because if you do that, then your message to the fan, but well, hey, we didn't think we'd be good. We took a shot. And then, they'll accept it because you were supposed to be terrible.
True.
So,
where did you have them before the season? Because I had them.
I'm finishing third in the division.
Yep.
And at best, third in the division and maybe like 10th in the conference.
Yeah, so we had them about the same spot.
Yeah.
I had them as like a 7-win team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But hey, who knew?
Right?
They come out on the streak and prove they got some, and they have some solid wins.
They do.
You beat Houston. You beat San Fran.
They gave the Lions all they could handle.
Exactly. And I'm fine with that as a loss. So you show that you are for real. This team is for real. Hey, take swing for the A, shoot for the moon, and if you miss, you land amongst the stars.
That's right. That is right. Yeah. So I do have I do have the Vikings winning here pretty easily, though.
Of course.
All right, we got they got the first Sunday morning game. You got to be loving this one. Ravens coming to town.
You mean the inter-squad scrimmage? That's what this is.
Right. So the Ravens come in as an 8.5 point favorite. Over under 44.5. 99% of America taking the Ravens here. Third ranked versus 30th ranked. Obviously, I'm taking the Ravens.
I am taking the Ravens as well, despite what the hat says.
Can you provide any hope?
Here's the only hope I have. I keep my ear to the streets, not only in Cleveland and everywhere else. Ravens fans do have some concern. Ravens fans were looking forward to facing Deshaun Watson. They're actually concerned about Jameis Winston because we don't know what's going to happen. They really don't have a game plan to prepare for. And also, Kevin Stefanski's giving up play calling. Ken Dorsey's going to be calling the game. So,
okay.
Yeah, they're really kind of in the dark this entire week. The only thing they got going for them is you're hoping that our defense does not decide to show up. Last week, our defense played their best football of the season. Yeah. You're hoping that trend doesn't continue. That's literally the only thing you're hoping for. Cedric Tillman showed some life. He showed he could potentially be an NFL receiver. The only two things you're concerned about if you're Baltimore, don't let Nick Chubb get fired up and hope that the defense doesn't show up. Because if those two things happen, if Nick Chubb, say he breaks one run, like that can inspire the entire team. Even he just breaks one run. So, yeah.
Yeah, or if Garrett gets home, lights up Barkley in the backfield or something.
Yeah. He's going to get Lamar once. He's going to get Lamar at least once. That's going to happen. But, yeah, you're hoping that the defense just has one of those games where they're missing the sign, blowing the assignments in the secondary, and they're not protecting the edges. There's no gap integrity. But if they show up like they did last week, Jameis, regardless of what you think, he is a motivator of men.
That's why I said before the show started, I was like, did they get better because Deshaun got hurt? Because I think they did.
It's that 1% is just a puncher's chance. That's all it is. Yeah.
Nope. Makes sense. All right. We got another team that's probably going to get blown out. We have the Titans traveling to Detroit. Lions are an 11.5 point home favorite, over under 45.5. 99% again taking the home team here. And the Titans don't have a puncher's chance. The only thing this team has is their defensive secondary and linebacking core is solid. They don't generate a real tough pass rush, really. Yeah. And then on offense, I mean, they have Mason Rudolph and they just got rid of D-Hop. So
Right.
like they don't have a puncher's chance. They don't have anybody playing offense. So unless the Lions just throw them the ball a lot, I don't see this going very well for Tennessee fans.
Yeah, wrong place, wrong time. The Lions are hot. They're coming off a great win. Yep. Put themselves in first place in their division. And they play really well at home. So Tennessee is going to have a hard time keeping them under like 35 points.
Well, that's why I laughed about the over-under. The over-under might just be the Lions.
The Lions, like, yeah.
That 45 points, they may hang that on them.
Yeah. We talk about Ross. The Lions might have, I don't even think it's, I think they clearly have the most talented offensive roster in the league. Like I would take, as a whole, I would take their offense over every team in the league, including the Chiefs. The only reason I would take the Chiefs is just to get Mahomes. But man for man, I would take their personnel over anybody in the league.
No, I'm with you. Well, and of course, they're talking with the Raiders to try and get Crosby. How insane!
They've also called about Zadarius Smith. I think they were the first team to contact us about Zadarius. So
absolutely.
Yeah, they are.
Well, and then of course, like say they do go the Crosby route and they figure out how to make that happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
He still has, I think, 2 more years after this one on his contract. So you'd have Hutch coming back and Crosby. Man,
yeah, problem.
Oof.
Problem in the future.
Like fun to watch.
Yep.
Until your team goes up against them. And then you're like, yeah, I don't want to see them on my schedule.
Absolutely. Man. Those two dudes with Dan Campbell motivated. Come on.
Oh man, no, that's what I'm saying. That's a problem. And Crosby would fit that mentality so well.
Yeah, just buy some kneecaps off, coach. Let's go.
Yeah, exactly. Like he is that dude. So we're really starting this out with a lot of just probably bad games. This is another one. We have the Colts going into Houston. Texans are a 5-point favorite at home, over under 46, 95% taking Houston at home. And again, that feels right.
Yeah.
I mean, the Colts can randomly surprise you, but
it's a division game. Anything can happen.
For sure. I mean, there's, well, with the Colts, is it? I forget if Richardson is starting. Do you know?
I believe he is.
Is he? Okay, so that makes the game a little more interesting.
I'd be more concerned if it was Flacco.
So normally, yes, except the offensive line isn't great, and all you have to do is light him up twice, and Flacco's not going to be that dude. And this Houston defense can do it. Houston can get home. So,
but it's like the more you see, familiarity. When Joe Flacco in the last 12 months, this would be Joe Flacco's 3rd time playing Houston.
That's true.
He played him at the end of the year with us, played in playoffs with us,
yep.
And it's again. So and I mean, he's a veteran, he's a champion. So it's like you don't want to keep giving him shots, at the ring.
Yeah.
But also the Colts might get Jonathan Taylor back. He practiced today as well. So if he plays, that makes it a little bit more interesting as well. But I still think Houston absolutely at home.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, I think, I mean, especially when you look at the offensive weaponry they have.
Yeah.
As long as the defense shows up, this should be a dub for them. They have been real inconsistent though. They've lost a couple of games that you didn't really think they were going to, but at least not the way they did.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, we got Packers headed to Jacksonville, and man, Jags fans are going through it. This team is terrible. And they shouldn't be as bad as they are. I mean, you knew the defense would be because they just don't do defense at all. But I was expecting to see more out of the offense. So, Packers are a 4-point road favorite here. Over under a 49.5, 97% taking the Packers. Like it's just an ugly slate so far. Mm-hmm. 5th ranked team versus 26th. I think they get their 6th loss here. How long does Doug Peterson hang on before he gets fired?
I don't know, but I think the better question is, when are we going to stop giving Trevor Lawrence a pass? Like, you got to pass for his rookie year because of the whole Urban Meyer debacle.
Yep.
But it's like he's kind of been flying under the radar ever since, and like he had a lot of hype coming out of Clemson.
A lot.
We talk about those guys. He was one of those guys. He's number 1 pick. We got to stop letting sunshine off the hook. Peterson, honestly, I'd be more prone to get rid of Sunshine over Peterson.
I think that's a package deal. I mean, you're looking at Lawrence at this point putting up the same numbers as Mac Jones.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And Mac's backing him up anyway, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, the worst part about that is if you move off of Lawrence, you get Lawrence still.
But what is that? That's almost like having Deshaun Watson right now.
No, for sure. Yeah. Well, but I think his backup is actually better than him, whereas Mac Jones isn't better than Lawrence. They're basically the same dude.
Jack, just get it over with. Move to England, and I think we'll see some improvement after that.
Yeah, well, it's funny because I was giving my buddy Travis a bunch of crap about that because he's a writer for the Jags, and I kept constantly, I'm like, oh yeah, no, they're moving, man. They already got 2 games over there. Like it's a thing. And then they did finally sign a new deal in Jacksonville, so they're going to get a new stadium, and that'll put them there until 2030, I think, and or 2035, something like that. But until it's built, they'll have 3 games over there. So they're trying.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously I took the Packers here.
Oh yeah, same. The Packers were my sleeper team before the season to make the Super Bowl, and I'm sticking with. I'm riding that wagon till the wheels fall off.
I got you. This one, we finally have an interesting game. And not interesting because they're good, but interesting because it's at least balanced. So we have the Cardinals headed in to Miami, and neither team is doing much. The Dolphins are a 4-point favorite at home. 45.5 is the over-under. 57% are actually still taking the Cards here. And this is Tua's return game.
Mm-hmm.
So Tua does get a start. This is such a hard game to pick because the Cardinals are wildly inconsistent. Like they can look great and then they can look terrible. Like they're a scrappy team. They can beat anybody, but they can also find ways to lose every week.
Exactly.
The Dolphins, you got to wonder how much rust Tua has,
right?
Because it's been a few weeks now. So I'm taking the Dolphins at home. If I was betting the line, I'd actually take them not to cover because for whatever reason, Arizona finds ways to make it close every week. But I'll take the Dolphins to win. Don't feel super confident about it though.
I'm with you. I'm also taking the Dolphins to win. Main reason is, these teams are on the same page. Main reason is you have that whole travel thing. West Coast teams coming to these, not only come to the East Coast, you're going down south, deal with those conditions that can be tough within itself. You got Tua coming back, and they could be rust. The only reason I don't really worry about rust with Tua, if he was a power quarterback, I'd be worried.
Yeah, that's fair.
But he's a finesse guy. He's the timing guy. He's like, and I think it's harder to lose. Like they've had enough work to get. They're 3 years in, like with the same group of guys. So I'm not worried about his time being that off.
Well, it also helps when you can just chuck the ball and let your guy run under it.
Exactly. Like you got the only track team in the NFL. So yeah, I also like the Dolphins at home. And I'm with you on Arizona. Like they can't decide who they are.
Mm-hmm.
Are they this scrappy team? Is this like a building block year where they kind of build their identity and move forward, or is it just more dysfunction and disorganization? Like pick a side. Let us know as fans, like who are you going to be going forward, and they just won't.
Well, besides, I'm trying to win a pick'em championship. Like, give me something.
There you go. So you bet just pick them to lose every week, and then you'll be fine.
Right? Basically, yeah. I mean, that is kind of where I got burned with the Vikings first couple weeks, right? Because I was just like, oh, this team's about to be terrible, and couldn't get it right. I'm just like,
They hit the Charlie Murphy on you. Wrong.
Exactly. And then the one time I'm like, okay, you know what? Minnesota's gonna get this. They're like, ha, losing this one. All right, we got another morning game here. This is one of those I'm glad regional happens. This is the Jets going into New England. Jets are a 7-point road favorite. Over under 41, 93% taking the Jets. 2-5 versus 1-6. Like just the ball, battle of the bad is what this is. It's just terrible. I do think the Jets win here. It's tough to pick the Jets because they find ways to lose each week. And the Patriots actually have a decent defense.
Yeah.
So, like, I take the Jets, I guess. I mean, if I was betting, I would keep my money in my pocket and just straight not bet this game.
Yeah, I agree. I also am picking the Jets on the road, mainly. Both teams, this is going to be a defensive game. I would definitely, if I was an over-under guy, I'd definitely take the under. The issue is the Patriots can't score points. Can't score points, and like I say,
neither can the Jets.
Right, but as dysfunctional as they are, that defense is legit. We know that. So the Patriots I might cap them at 10. This could be one of those 17-10 type games, 13-10, low scoring, unless that Rodgers-Adams connection really gets going. Then it could be interesting. But yeah, this is a game I like the Jets to pull out. I mean, the Patriots, unlike the Cardinals, we know what the Patriots are. They're rebuilding. I like the direction they're headed. I actually like Drake May. I just didn't like them. I didn't like them starting him during this stretch because he's seeing some defenses that like could have really broke his confidence as a young quarterback.
Absolutely.
But I mean, look, he looks good.
Well, and they didn't need any help breaking confidence, but then their coach comes out and is like, our team is soft. And you're just like, come on, man. Like you can't say stuff like certainly not on a podium. Like, what are we doing right now? Yeah, like you can't tank your guys nationally. Like you could say that stuff in the locker room, be like, hey, you guys look soft out there. I want to see some fight. You can't get on national TV and be like, yeah, you know what? Turns out our team sucks. Who knew? Yeah. Like you can't do that.
What it was is he tried to follow in Antonio Pierce's footsteps when he came out with hey, I see some guys out there making business decisions, so I may have to make some. But what he forgot was the Raiders also suck. So you can't follow the habits of bad teams and do on your own. So.
Well, and there was a difference in that because on camera you saw them make business decisions, like straight up just walk away from tackles. Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, you're right to make that comment.
Yeah.
The Patriots were doing it in a way of you just had guys that were either like missing a tackle or had some alignment issues or, it was actually coaching problems, really.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh, yeah, guys are soft. Whereas when it was Pierce, it's like, yeah, no, like this dude straight up didn't try and tackle the guy. Like, he's like, oh, that dude is big and he's fast. Have fun in the end zone. Like, so like that is just wildly different. Yeah, no, it's I feel bad for the Patriots, and that's where I think this game could kind of get out of hand if that hurt the team more than anything, right?
Yeah.
Like if your defense is like, oh, okay, you know what? I mean, I guess if we're soft, cool, I'm out.
Yeah.
Like we're already losing. Who cares?
Oh man, damn Patriots.
All right, this one was going to be a fantastic game until last week, and now it's unfortunate because the Falcons go into Tampa Bay, and you wanted to see this game with a fully loaded Tampa Bay team, right?
Yeah.
Both are 4-3. It's the division. Like this game was going to be awesome. Like this was going to be my game of the week. Okay. And now that you have, one player missing the rest of the season, you got Evans done until week 11. The Bucs are about to get boat raced here. And it's unfortunate because it could have been such a great game. Falcons are 2.5-point favorite, over under 46. The vote for it is funny though. America is 50-50 on this one, which makes absolutely no sense when you look at the injuries of the Bucs.
But America loves Baker Mayfield.
What's that?
America loves Baker Mayfield. That's what
they do. They do. Now, I mean, I'll give you that, but it helps if he has someone to throw to.
True.
So, yeah, I obviously have the Falcons here. Plus, it's an early game. You don't have to worry about Cousins in prime time or anything like that.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Just zero weapons. Like Baker's going to be playing 7-on-7 with no receiver, with linemen for receivers.
Exactly. I mean,
unless they can really establish the run game and kind of play keep away or kill the clock.
Yep.
The Atlanta defense is tough as well. It's very hard to pick Tampa in this game.
Yeah, they're going to have to call up Dan Campbell and be like, hey, how did you get every lineman as an eligible receiver? Because we're going to have to do that.
Tristan Wirfs, you'll be playing tight end this weekend.
That's right. Just running through people. Oh, we don't
hate Tampa. They don't have anybody.
No, they're just injured.
Yeah, you lost your number 1 and number 2 receiver. And Baker's your QB.
No team missing 1 and 2 is going to go win games, especially in the division against another team that's playing well. Like that's not hate. That's defense. Just you see the personnel. Now, if you said I hate Baker, I'd be like, I think he's super inconsistent, right? I think he's super. I don't hate the guy, but he's super inconsistent. He's tough to pick. What will I say if they win? It'll be less about Tampa and more about the Falcons falling apart.
By the way, I think you're right. Oh man, I love you, Jay. I love you, Jay. That was the greatest comment ever.
That is fantastic. And of course, we're halfway through our picks, so we got to go ahead and do this part of the show. It is brought to you in part by True Fusion Gym right here in the Pacific Northwest. Free 5-day pass if you use the QR code on the screen, Pilates, boot camp, yoga, and that's at all 3 of their locations, whether it's Bellevue, Ballard, or University Village. Find your edge at True Fusion Gym. And of course, if you are into sports betting, and of course, if you're watching this show, you probably are, you can bet right alongside us here on BetUS, Bet Us, however you want to say it, using the QR code on the screen. You can get up to 125% of your first initial 3 deposits and a 10% bet guarantee if you happen to be bad at betting. And, with all the upsets this year, there probably is some of that. So go ahead and hit that QR code, sign up with Football Talk, and bet alongside us right here. I am here in
Seattle. Step up my Pilates game.
Yeah, that's right. Got to get that work in, man. Now, my wife is a Pilates instructor, and I'm pretty sure she's just, trying to kill me.
And I'm saying, hey, men out there, there are a lot of these things that we think are like wimps or simp stuff that are tough. Like, man, I will never forget the first time I did a spin class. Yeah.
Hey, you're leaving a puddle.
Bro.
Just just pools on the floor.
Oh, I thought it was. No, this is gonna be easy. No, sir. So yeah, hey, don't sleep on all these activities, man.
Oh yeah,
Jay, I'm born and raised in Cleveland, Ohio, but I currently live in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Oh, really? You're in Vegas?
Yeah.
Oh.
So I'm on the way. I'm on the left coast.
Okay. All right. That's funny. Yeah, I had no idea you were in Vegas. That is hilarious.
Yep.
Well, I should have hit you up when I was there.
Oh yeah. Hey, first round's on me always.
Vegas is always fun.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
All right, here we go. We got the last morning game. This one should be interesting. Mostly because they're both very flawed teams, but should be better than they are. And we're looking at the Eagles going into Cincinnati. So we got the Bengals at 3-4, Eagles at 4-2. Bengals are a home favorite at 2.5 points. Eagles are getting the popular selection here at 55%, though. I do like the Eagles here, and only because the Bengals are another one of those teams that don't play defense. So if you can get a stop on their offense, you got a pretty good chance of winning. So I'm going to go with Eagles. Barkley has a big day. Yeah, I don't think he gets hurt because I like that he's already trying to kill Barkley.
Right.
I don't think he gets hurt because the Bengals just don't play defense. So you got to get hit to get hurt. And so I think it's I think the Eagles probably take care of business here. That being said, the Eagles don't play a great brand of defense right now either. So this should be a higher scoring game. Over under of 48. I'll take the over.
Yeah, sure. This might be our first disagreement. I'm actually taking the Bengals in this one.
Okay.
To me, the Eagles for the last couple of years have tried to lose football games. They've been. I'm not saying they're tanking, but they've literally tried to lose every game. Now, I remember it was last season when they played the Vikings. The Vikings had 6 turnovers, and the Eagles only won that game by 6 points. It's crazy. They're catching the Bengals at the wrong time. The Bengals are notoriously slow starters, have been since Joe Burrow got there. But around this time of year, they pick it up. And the only bad thing is the Bengals played the Ravens last week. Had that not happened, the Bengals would be 4-3.
Yep.
So yeah, they're tough to beat, especially in that building once they get rolling. So I'm going to have to go with the Bengals at home. I think Philly will find some kind of way to give them the game.
Okay.
They try to lose every game.
I'm not.
No, it's not hate. They've literally tried to lose every game. Go watch the Eagles.
You watched them down the stretch last year. Like, they were terrible. So I'm not disputing that. I just think of the two teams that are playing poorly, I have the Eagles, but yeah. Hate is good.
Yeah.
All right. We got the afternoon games. We got the Saints heading into LA to play the Chargers. Chargers are a 7.5 point favorite. Everybody on the Saints is hurt. So I'm going to go with the Chargers cruise here. 93% of America taking them. Yeah, I have the Chargers here. I mean, the Saints are just in a bad way.
Yeah, same. The rumor was Alvin Kamara asked Sean Payton to come get him after the game.
But he signed his new deal yesterday.
That doesn't matter. But yeah, just too much going on in New Orleans. The Chargers, in theory, should win this game. With that being said, they will probably lose by 10.
Yeah, I mean, right? Because they should have won last week. I mean, you put up 360 and you can't get in the end zone. I mean, what are you doing?
So, but yeah, I'm with you. I had the Chargers at home.
Did you watch that Chargers game?
Bits and pieces.
Did you see that ridiculous? I think it was the first quarter. Like, it's an interception, and then it's a fumble, and it kicks the ball, and then Cardinals get it back like 30 yards behind where they started. Yeah. I was just like, man, it's a good thing this wasn't a primetime game. Like, I understand it was Monday Night Football, but it was on ESPN Plus, so no one was watching it. But
I think I send a message to the NFL. Can we get this? What is the thing that they do at the end of the year? I have the word. I say it all the time. Now I forget. But where they switch up the game. Can we get
the flex?
Yes, the flex? Can we start flexing from like week 1? Like,
So
why are the Chargers and Cardinals on Monday Night Football? Why are the Giants ever on Monday Night Football? Why? Like, there's just so many bad games. Like tonight, I don't want to see. I want to do a post game show for a good Thursday night football game. I don't want to talk about the Minnesota Vikings winning by 40 points over. Like
that's not going to be a thing though. So they look at Thursday night football and the London games of. They know everyone's going to watch because it's the only thing on, right? That's why they always put the garbage game in London because they're like, the stadium sells out anyway. We don't got to put a good game there.
Yeah.
Like, I'd like to see one because I'm waking up at 6 a.m. to watch that game. I'd like to see a good game. But
well, the Thursday night game originally started because like bad teams like the Browns, where I was complaining, like, we never get primetime.
Yeah,
they started Thursday to give every team at least one primetime game. And then somewhere it changed because you're putting bad teams on primetime anyway. Like, again, the Giants go 5-11 and have 4 Monday Night Football games. Like, stop it. Like,
well, the thing that's crazy is I thought they actually had a rule now that everyone had one primetime game no matter what.
Yeah.
Well, they don't.
It's the Thursday game. If you watch the Thursday schedule, every team plays Thursday night.
So I thought that was true, except the Panthers don't have a single primetime game.
Oh, well, they got that one right. They got right.
Absolutely. But I thought there was a rule that everyone got a primetime game. That was the whole idea behind having all these different primetime slots. And somehow
somebody messed up, and then they were like, screw it. It's the Panthers. We're not redoing the entire schedule just to put the Panthers.
I guess they had to have actual NFL teams be on primetime.
There you go.
All right, we got the Bills at the Seahawks. This is actually going to be a tougher game to pick than I thought it was going to be, and only because I don't know which Seattle defense is going to show up. Is it the Seattle defense from the first 3 weeks and last week where they're only giving up 15 points? Or is it going to be week 4 through 6 where they were giving up 35? Right. So that one is tough to try and figure out. I actually have the Bills here, even though I'm going to be at this game. So I hope I'm wrong. This is one of those picks where let me hedge my bet. I'm going to make the smart play for my pick 'em, but I also want to see them lose.
For me, I got the Seahawks in this one. I have a rule that I go by. There's just certain buildings in this league where it's tough to get wins, and this is where I told you I was going to help you out in the picks. Lambeau is one of those, so this will help you in your Packer picks.
Yes,
Minnesota is actually becoming one of those places. It's hard to get a win in that dome. Seattle, the third. Miami before December hits. You got that sideline wearing down on you.
It's hot.
Yeah. They intentionally made it to where the visitor sideline's like 130 degrees during the game.
Right. It's just in the sun, just boiling.
Yeah. But that being said, especially when you have the travel involved, East Coast teams struggle coming to play in that building. So I'm going to see it. And team-wise, they're about evenly matched. Obviously, I'm taking Josh Allen over Geno Smith, but the rest of the roster, I like Seattle. If they can establish that run game, I like them to get the victory.
Yeah, well, especially if the defense can create some stops, like that's the biggest thing. Is they haven't been able to stop the run or a tight end. So if they can slow some of that down, Seattle can definitely win here. All right, we got the Bears at Washington. I like Washington here, even though Daniels is hurt, and it's just because I don't believe in the Bears. Like they just
that's fair. Oh man, it's like the island of misfit toys over there.
It is.
I'm picking the Bears in this one. Well, actually, this is the one game I usually have an asterisk game this is it. If Daniels plays, I got the Commanders. If he doesn't, I got the Bears.
Not a Mariota believer?
Nah. Nah.
Okay, this is another one that's like, man, we got the Panthers at the Broncos. You know what's hilarious? The Broncos haven't played great, right? They're a 10-point favorite here. 98% taking the Broncos. I am also taking the Broncos.
Absolutely. And like I said, this is another one of those buildings tough to get a win in, especially when you're a bad football team. And the one, I mean, as confusing as the Broncos are, the defense is legit.
Yes.
So
yeah, well, yeah, I mean, they're ranked second or better in most categories. So I mean, yeah. All right, we got KC at the Raiders. KC is a 9.5-point favorite for obvious reasons, and you have the Raiders who had benched Minshew to bring in O'Connell, who lasted 5 seconds to then put Minshew back in. You lose Adams. They're trying to get rid of Crosby. I feel like they're just trying to go get a quarterback this year, so they're attempting to lose. And KC cruises here, no problem.
Yeah, they called me yesterday, so I may actually be suiting up, be the emergency third string quarterback. Right? So look out for that. No, but yeah, the Chiefs. The Chiefs are rolling. There's been like talk over the last several years. Oh, Chiefs could run the table. This year, the Chiefs could actually run the table.
Sure. Well, and then they go get D-Hop as a third option, right? So you're just like, man, come on.
Yeah, their schedule is working out to where the chances of them going 17-0 like gets better every week.
It does. It does. I don't want to see it, but it does. All right. Sunday night football. We might finally have a Sunday night football that's worth watching. We got the Cowboys at the Niners. This is a must-win game for both teams.
Yeah.
Because if the Cowboys lose, you start seeing people getting fired, would be my guess. On the Niners, if they lose, it doesn't put them out of anything, but it makes you feel like the team is a little bit different. So the Niners are a 4-point favorite at home, over under 46. 78% are taking the Niners. I actually like the Cowboys here just because people are going to be fighting for their jobs.
Fair. Me a couple weeks ago on our Thursday night football post game, I made a prediction that the San Francisco 49ers would miss the playoffs.
Oh, okay.
They need this win. If they lose this game, I'll be happy because I'm going to be like 99% right. I do not see them making the playoffs, especially if they lose this game. You're talking about going 3. They'll be 3-5 overall. I think they'd be like 1-3 in the conference or something, so yeah, they need this win desperately. But I also like Cowboys on the road. Just too many losses, injuries piling up. Then Debo's playing. IU obviously down. C-Mac to the Madden curse. Like exactly. This is a bad year to be a member of the San Francisco 49ers. And we're all of the Purdy haters are coming out of the wood. See, I told you so. It's nothing wrong with a quarterback. Every quarterback needs quarterback needs something. So it's not a statement on him. Yeah. It's nothing. He's a good quarterback. He's just everything's falling apart around him, and he's not the type of quarterback that can carry you. That's all. He's never been that, but he's still a good dude. But yeah, I like the Cowboys. I like Dak to earn his money this week.
And then, of course, Monday Night Football, the head scratcher of why this wasn't flexed. We have the Giants at the Steelers. What a waste of a prime time slot. Steelers are a 6-point favorite at home. 98% taking the Steelers, and I am obviously taking the Steelers as well. This Giants team is hot trash. Daniel Jones loses his job by the end of the year, and Dable is probably also out of a job at the end of the year.
Oh, yeah, he's playing fantasy football over there. He's just like the GM, too. GM's got to get him up out of there. When your son has the best draft idea, like that was the worst thing they could have did, been on Hard Knocks. Now, giving everybody that peek behind. Your son literally told you what to do. I don't care what you have to give up. Go get Jaden Daniels, Dad, and you settle on Malik Neighbors. He's a good player, but yeah, you should have given up whatever you had to give up to trade up to get either or Drake May's looking like, so. Mm-hmm. But yeah, absolutely. Pittsburgh, another one of those places, tough to get a win. That defense is starting to roll. And to all of Pittsburgh Nation, Big Mike and the Man Cave can verify them. I told you, Russell Wilson, he's not with this myth that he's wide. No, you literally heard Sean Payton last year tell you he played for the worst coach in football. Sean Payton himself, I don't think, is a very good coach, and he had to go through that mess. Now he gets with a real coach, knows how to. I think the situation he's in is just what he needed at this point in his career. And you saw last week the difference in how that offense looked. George Pickens is very happy Russell Wilson is starting.
Oh, for sure.
Now he can actually get to play football.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Najee Harris, you see the running lanes open up. So all the people, Najee Harris is a bun. No, Najee Harris is a bun because 10 people are in the box because you've never had a quarterback who would stretch the field. Pittsburgh is a Super Bowl threat. They're a legit Super Bowl threat. As long as they can keep Russell Wilson upright.
The defense is for sure. The defense is no joke. It is amazing.
This team is the exact same setup he had in Seattle.
Yep.
Well, that's a running game
He doesn't have to be the hero. He just has to go in, hand the ball off, stretch the field sometimes, rely on a defense. We've seen it work for him.
Yep. And you have a coach that knows what the hell he's doing, and a coach, more importantly, who, if you got the ball on the 1 yard line, he's going to give it to his running back.
And Jay, the Ravens helmet, I saw the question roll through there. I won a national championship with the Ravens. That was a semi-pro team I played for, and then I played pro arena football. So that's what that Ravens helmet's about.
There you go. And the Browns are actually in a better place than the Raiders. I only say that because if we finish, the roster's better, and if we do finish the season being terrible, we will be in position to get a quarterback. Mm-hmm. And yeah, just like I said, the roster better. And Kevin Stefanski is not that bad of a coach. I'd actually take him over Pierce right now.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, most of the problems have nothing to do with Stefanski. Yeah. So, I actually feel bad for him. He's probably going to get fired for something that was not his fault. Right. That being said, we're up against it time-wise. Let everybody know how they can find you.
Hey, social media, you can hear me right there at Audible Podcast or at Audible_Bobby G. That'll be on X now. I guess can't call it formerly Twitter. Of course, you can catch me on YouTube, the Audible Sports Podcast, every Friday, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. You can catch me tonight about 5 to 10 minutes after Thursday Night Football, which will be the TNF postgame show presented by the Audible Sports Podcast. And starting next week, you can catch me on the Let's Talk Sports YouTube with In the Hoop. And I think we'll be doing that at 8 Eastern, if I'm not mistaken. We finalized it, but that's the time we were last season. So look out for that. And of course, anytime Bo needs me, I'll come through in the clutch like Mahomes. So
No, definitely appreciate you coming on, man. And definitely got to come hang out on your podcast soon.
Absolutely.
All right. And if you've been watching here, be sure to like and subscribe. And of course, if you're watching on Roku TV, stay tuned for the next hour. Other than that, see y'all next week.
Peace.
Introducing National Streaming Sports, live and on-demand sports talk programming that you can access 24/7. For the premier sports talk experience, tap into our Roku channel. Start your mornings with Mac and Jack covering all the weekend sports action. Then pour a cup and enjoy all the sports you can drink on the Coffee and Sports Podcast. At midday, talk sports from east to west on the Coast to Coast Podcast. Followed at night by some hot girl talk with Prim and Proper Sports featuring Sonia Pearson. Talk boxing on the Gloved Fist. Yankee fans tune in for Start Spreading the News. And there's more on the College Sports Huddle and Sports Scope with Robert Butler. There are 20 podcasts in all and 70 weekly shows giving us a 3.4-star viewer rating. To find us on Roku TV, search for National Streaming Sports on the Roku search bar. Click on the logo and you're in. National Streaming Sports,